And so my strategy 5 for great nutrition and optimum health is to buy organic, local, and in season foods. It is something I am really passionate about. It is something that has transformed my life, and it was actually one of the biggest steps that I took when it comes to nutrition. The main reason being is that conventional soils where your produce grows are sprayed with tons of chemicals, pesticides, fertilizers, glyphosate, all these toxins and chemicals, and they build up the total toxic load burden in your body. So we've all got a bucket of toxins, and over time they just get filled and they start to overflow, and that's when they cause a lot of damage, which leads to health problems and illness. And so you want to do what you can to support that, but also they can disrupt the microbiome in your stomach, so you're not digesting food and you're not absorbing the nutrients from your foods. And so these general foods, they're laced with all these toxins, and they have this toxic synergistic effect that counteract all your other efforts. So really it is an important step, more so than you realise. And even looking at conventional meats and things like that, they're pumped full of hormones, antibiotics, steroids, and because you don't digest those very well, and you don't digest the protein very well. And so that creates even more pollutants and things for your body to deal with. Something else to note is that the toxins and pesticides and things, they get into the fatty tissues of these animals, and then they have a negative effect on your health when you eat them. And so there's actually been all these numerous studies that have shown that eating this organic, free-range, healthy, happy animal protein actually has a lot higher nutritional concentration in it. So it's about 4 times higher, nutrient dense. You get to, eat the protein and really get that into your body as well. And all these antioxidants are great at fighting off disease as well. And so, we committed quite a while ago to eating, good quality. We get these noble organics, 100% traceable, 100% sustainable, ethical, free range, and we get these from the farmers markets. I've got some chicken here, even some sausages for the kids, just because they're such good quality grass-fed beef sausages, and they're quite easy. And then we even get this wonderful sort of clean fish, and this is like a chili lime barramundi. And so I tend to eat mostly plant-based, but having just a bit of this, it's great. You can make a wonderful sort of green fish curry or a miso fish soup or something like that. And it's so good for you. And I think, particularly in the time of COVID, you want to be doing what you can to drastically reduce all of your exposure to all of these other toxins, genetic modification, ionizing radiation, and buying certified organic, particularly from a farmer that you can, get to know, can make a really big difference. So there's actually numerous studies that show that the organic protein actually has a much higher nutritional content in it, about 4 times that of conventional. So you're actually getting not only more nutrients, but because your body can absorb the protein better and it can digest the protein better without all the toxins, you're actually utilising it much better by the body. So you're better off eating better quality, but you can eat less, because if you buy this organic food, it drastically reduces your exposure to the pesticides, the ionizing radiation, the fertilizers, the genetic modification. And all of this is going to make a difference to your health, which is particularly important during this time of COVID. Less inflammation means a better immune system. And so you can look for these organic grass-fed cuts. We get ours from the farmers markets near us, and we love it. This Noble brand is fantastic, and it's good for the environment, ethically sourced and sustainably sourced as well. And I also recommend to get clean fish, clean wild caught fish rather than the farm fish. This clean fish actually cleans your colon, it replenishes your cell, it can stabilise blood sugars, and it's going to lead to more energy. And we get our great organic fish from the farmers markets, and we make curries and miso soup, and we do it with a lovely sweet potato mash. It's just beautiful, and this one's a chili lime marinated. So, highly recommend that you do that. So if you're worried about organic food being expensive, I recommend Aldi for cheap, affordable organic food, produce and pantry food as well. But I would highly recommend the farmers markets. Even if you've got to travel, it's absolutely my top pick for local, in-season, fresh, very affordable organic produce. And if you need to budget even further, you can look up the EWG Dirty Dozen list. So every year there's a Dirty Dozen and a Clean 15, and just make sure that you buy the top 12 contaminated foods. Berries and apples are typically always on there, strawberries, things like that. And your leafy greens as well, just make sure that they're organic, and then the rest can be conventional if that's what you're on a budget for, but you're still better off buying that from the farmers markets. There was a 2017 study that showed that farmers markets are the happiest, eco-friendly behavioural opportunities you can have, and that they provide these meaningful connections with people. And I think it's important to note that in a time where people are so disconnected, what a wonderful experience. You know, other reasons besides being outdoor and having that wonderful chance to be with your community and to discuss the origins of your produce that makes you so passionate about your food, you're providing a smaller environmental impact. You're buying more nutrient-dense food. And you're really supporting those local farmers, and so it's a really good experience all round. We actually enjoy it's the shopping that we enjoy doing, and if you go to a good one, you can kind of get everything there, which is fantastic. So you get most of your things for the week that you need. But also, you know, looking at organic eating, I think you've got to weigh it up. It's like, what value do you put on your health? Maybe in the long run, you're going to be paying for hospitals and doctors and medications. Aren't you better off making that choice now and choosing food that's going to be better for you and better for your health and better for your body? And as I mentioned, the price isn't necessarily more expensive. More often than not, it's actually cheaper. But don't lose sight that having fresh food is always more important than eating that packaged conventional. So, you know, start where you're at and then go from there. My strategy 6 for top nutrition and optimum health would be having a plant-based diet. In fact, it's one of the top choices for optimum nutrition because there's significant evidence of the benefits of all those nutrients, vitamins, antioxidants, phytonutrients, phytochemicals, all of those wonderful, wonderful goodness for your body. And it's been shown that they support that easy weight management. It's good for disease prevention and, of course, a light environmental footprint. In fact, it offers the necessary proteins, fats, carbohydrates, along with optimum fibre and phytonutrients. So it's a really, really good diet for a lot of people. And it's important to know that although it focuses primarily on plant foods, you can still have some animal protein. So mostly it is, you know, your fruit and vegetables, your legumes, your nuts, seeds, whole grains, oils, this sort of diet. But, you know, you can certainly have some animal protein too. It's just in moderation. So being on a plant-based diet, it doesn't mean you're vegan or you don't eat dairy or you don't eat meat either, but rather you choose more of your foods from plants. So the main concern that people have is that they're not going to get enough protein without the, you know, so much animal protein. But that's not true. There's actually many options for plant-based protein. You know, you've got your sort of nuts and seeds here. You've got your legumes and things, you know, your chickpeas, your lentils, all of that sort of group of things. You've got your tempeh and tofu. You've even got things like mushrooms. So you've got your mushrooms, which are a really great source of protein. And you've got quinoa, which you can use like a rice-based, but it's actually, you know, a protein source. Even edamame. So there's lots of a variety. It's quite surprising. And these proteins have a host of benefits. You know, everything from lowering blood pressure to stabilising blood sugar levels, you're balancing hormones, and you're reducing risks of certain diseases like cancer and heart disease as well. And then you enhance elimination, digestion and detoxification. So that really supports weight loss. It's really great if you're doing a health kick, at least that optimum health and vitality. And there's also great evidence to show that it leads to a longer lifespan eating a mostly plant-based diet, and that it's one of the best things you can do for the planet. You may not know this, but animal agriculture is responsible for more greenhouse gases than the entire transport sector. So we're talking planes, cars. So it's a really important point that you know, can take some steps to eating a more plant-based diet. Another reason that a plant-based diet is so good for you is because of the compounds polyphenols, which are unique to plants, and they're so good for you. There's been lots of study to show their ability to help heal and to help reduce risk. Some polyphenols like resveratrol are found in berries and red grapes, and they also have those antioxidants which are great for reducing free radicals in the cell and great for anti-aging as well. And then you've got another polyphenol called quercetin, and that's become a bit more popular during the age of COVID because it's been found to be one of those things that inhibits viruses replicating in cells along with zinc. But also it's got these really fantastic anti-inflammatory properties. So it benefits the immune system, but also great at reducing seasonal allergies and things like that. And so once again, berries are a great source of that, and then you've got onions and apples too. So, you know, it's all in that beautiful farmer's fresh fruit and veggies that we get. And so you can really maximise your intake of healing polyphenols as well as all your antioxidants and phytonutrients by eating the rainbow. And that would absolutely be one of my top tips, eat the rainbow. So what you can do is you can make a salad and then just think about how many colours you can get on your plate. You want to have a different variety of coloured fruits and vegetables and salad ingredients, and they're going to really add to your health over the long time. You know, they're going to help support detoxification. They're going to help even repair cells in your body. They're going to oxygenate your blood, help fight infection, and they detoxify, you know, heavy metals and things like that as well. So they're really great on a Get Well program. And then obviously let's not forget about the other things like energy, better sleep, increased weight loss, all of that's so great for a health kick. And so these veggies as well, they have what's called chlorophyll. And chlorophyll oxygenates the blood, but it also helps reduce DNA damage in your cells, and it's anti-carcinogenic. So it's a really fantastic one to include in all your greens if you're doing a detox. And then you've got my favourite blueberries, which I have mostly every day. If money's an issue, you can get organic frozen ones and then you don't waste them, and they're quite good value for what you get. But you get those into your body and you're really going to oxygenate that blood. You're going to support a good immune system. It's a great anti-aging tool and it tastes delicious too. And it reduces that inflammation. So for any of those chronic diseases like cancer and heart disease. And a really good way to have a plant-based diet, I find, for either breakfast or morning tea if you intermittent fast, is to have a smoothie. And then you can add other things. You can add, you know, superfoods like, you know, your maca powder, or you can add an oil or a bit of stevia, but then you can put sort of whatever veggies and fruit and do a real mixture. Not only does it taste delicious, but you're getting all of those plant-based foods into your diet, you know, quite early on the day. And you want to aim for at least 5 servings of coloured sort of fruit and vegetables in your day. And you mostly want to go for vegetables because fruit does have that glucose and you don't want to raise your blood sugars too much. If you have more vegetables, you support and enhance metabolism and keep your hormones balanced. But I have quite a few videos on smoothies. I love making smoothies, so please check out my channel and check out any of my smoothie recipes. And then if you think they're good, I have, you know, 60 plus smoothies on most of my programs. Put a lot of time into developing the best smoothies that taste really good, but also detoxify and cleanse the body and help with weight loss. So yeah, join me in one of my programs. Some of my transitioning tips for moving across to more of a plant-based diet is to start stocking your fridge and pantry with these essentials. So, you know, with the veggies and the fruit, with the legumes, nuts, seeds, herbs, spices, you can have a bowl full of fruit sitting on your kitchen bench as a bit of an incentive. And if you stock more suitable foods, then you're going to create a healthy food environment in your kitchen, setting yourself up for success and making it more part of your everyday life. But of course you can start small, absolutely. Baby steps can lead to big things. So you could start by just having one plant-based meal a day. Maybe for breakfast like the smoothie I mentioned, or an even better way to do it sometimes is doing your meatless Monday, which has become a bit popular, and then you can transition to other days as well. And so you don't have to overhaul your diet all at once. You just slowly switch things out and eventually you have more plant-based staples in your diet. Because even these small changes can mean powerful results. And another way, I really like this one, it's Dr. Joel Fuhrman's G-BOMBS acronym. Don't know if anyone knows that, but I really do like that. So it's green beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, seeds. I think that's it, isn't it? Yeah, G-BOMBS. And so if you can have as much of those, foods in your diet, they are the really sort of superfoods, really nutritionally dense and really, really good for longevity and warding off chronic diseases like cancer. So that's a really good way to go as well. And then I also recommend, if you don't like something, keep trying it. And a lot of us have done this as parents with our kids. And there's science to show that for the average person, it can take around 12 times, sometimes up to 20 tastes to acquire the taste for a new food. So even for yourself, if you have a mushroom, you don't like it, try it again and keep trying it. And you might find that you really start to love it. The other thing you can do is add in some sauces and flavour. I was talking in one of my other sections about, dips and dressings. You can make some really healthy, make a green goddess dressing. And, you can put sort of flavours with things and it really adds to the food that you're eating. And then also what you can do is, maybe replace an animal protein meal with a plant-based protein meal. So you could have sort of like a satay tofu or something instead of a satay chicken. Or you could even have, lentils in something in a soup rather than your beef or something else. And so you can get creative. I really encourage you to get creative. You can try new recipes. You can follow some of my recipes as well. You could even follow, plant-based influencers on social media. It can be a good way because you can then find a new community, with similar goals and a similar vision. And just don't be afraid to venture out. Be innovative. You might be surprised at how much you really enjoy it. Before too long, that sort of nutrient-dense veggie might be the gourmet star on the plate. And so my strategy 7 would be to eat lots of nutritious fibre. So fibre-filled food has been shown to reduce the risk of cancer, lower LDL cholesterol, eliminate toxins and waste, and keep you fuller for longer. In fact, research shows that populations that eat a greater amount of fibre are universally healthier. And so fibre is very crucial for that detoxification and for getting waste out of the body. And it actually stops toxins from being recycled and absorbed back into the digestive tract. But it also ensures that you get good elimination and waste out of the body and that you keep bowel movements regular. And all of these things are needed for optimum health and vitality and for a slim, healthy body as well. But fibre's greatest value, I think, is in the fact that it increases your metabolic rate. So it's fantastic if you're on a health kick and also amazing if you want to lose weight. And so there are 2 types of fibre. You've got soluble fibre and insoluble fibre. And so your soluble fibre include all of these fantastic rainbow kind of veggies here. And you've got your legumes, you've got your peas and soy products, beans, things like that. And what soluble fibre does is it prevents your digestive system from having problems with digestion. And so it gets the mixture down into sort of a good form. And so then it can be, absorbed into the intestines and then taken sort of safely out of the body. And then also what that does is it keeps you feeling fuller for longer. And that's probably one of the reasons it's considered to be so important on a weight loss diet. And some of the best sources, as I mentioned, are these wonderful veggies, but in particular the greens. The greens with your vitamins A, B, C and D, selenium, magnesium, chlorophyll, phytonutrients. They're all essential for optimum health and good vitality, but great for the immune system. And they're really honestly one of the healthiest choices on your plate, a fantastic source of fibre. And then you've got your bitters as well, which are another great source of fibre. You've got your rocket, your radish, your lemons we've got here, and even your apple cider vinegar here, which is fantastic for the digestive system and for your liver as well, your liver function. And then you've got insoluble fibre. So insoluble fibre are things like your corn, your whole grains, your nuts and your seeds here, rice bran, things like that. And what that does is that helps with the formation for the waste out of the bowels. And it also acts like a scrub for the digestive system. So it sort of helps to accumulate that waste. It sort of scrapes the waste out of the intestinal walls and to ensure you get a good amount of waste out of the system and it can be moved out of the body. So fibre is very vital, not only for health, but for a great weight loss effort on a health kick. My strategy 8 for top nutrition and optimum health would be to eat a lot of prebiotic and probiotic foods. And one of the reasons for this is that 70% of your immune system resides in your stomach. But not only that, you've got about 100 trillion bacteria and microbes that work to digest your food. They help you absorb nutrients better. They regulate your metabolism, which is really great for weight loss. They help detoxify and also control pathogens, so also help keep you well in this time of COVID. So one of the issues that we have is that modern day soil is over-farmed, and that means the microbes that are usually in the soil are killed, and this renders the food less nutritious. And then, in order to maintain a strong immune system and optimum health, you need to add other things in. And this is why probiotics and prebiotics can be really helpful. And so you can think of probiotics as those good guys. It's like they're the good microbes. And then you've got the prebiotic foods, and they help fuel those healthy gut bugs, that beneficial bacteria. It helps them grow and survive and flourish. And so the probiotic foods help the gut bacteria produce these nutrients for the colon and for a healthier gut. And so part of this, you've got your yogurt. So you could think of, those products that have the live cultures in them, your Greek yogurts. We get organic yogurts as well. And that what they do is they populate the gut with all these great probiotics. And they help you fight off disease because they also include vitamin D. And then also eating fermented foods can be really great. I've got some of them here. You've got miso, which is a great fermented food, and you've got fermented veggies are fantastic too. And we've got here, some different sauerkrauts. They're all really fantastic. You've got kimchi as well, which is a really great sauce. And this sauerkraut fermentation, it increases the availability of dietary fibre, but also your vitamins, your vitamin C, B, D, things like that. But when you get started on these, it's good to start slowly. So you can start with 1 teaspoon and then build yourself up to about 2 tablespoons with each meal. But they add a fantastic source of probiotics into your food. And then you've obviously got your prebiotic foods as well. Interestingly, miso paste is also a prebiotic. That's why we have miso noodle soup, and I add miso to our stir fries as well. You've got things like garlic, which I've got there, and obviously dandelion and artichoke are good sources, and then the berries. What are berries not good for, hey? They're fantastic. So berries are also a really good source of prebiotics. So include as many of these in your diet and you'll have a healthy digestive system for many years to come. So strategy 9 for top nutrition and optimum health would be to eat essential fatty acids. So one of the biggest myths around losing weight is to limit all fats, that all fats are not essential. But the reality is that healthy fats are actually a key part to losing weight and maintaining optimal health. And so with your essential fatty acids, your ALAs and things like that, these compounds build your omega-3s and your omega-6s. And these help your brain, your nervous system, they regulate inflammation, they boost immunity and metabolism, which is really important on a health kick program. And so your omega-6s can commonly be found in things like your nuts and seeds and your eggs. And these need to be balanced with omega-3s. Omega-3s are very important, and you get these in a lot of your oily fishes like your salmon, you've got them in oysters, even chia seeds have omega-3s, and then you've got your seaweeds and flaxseed oils. So here I've got an MCT oil there, but this one here has got a really good balance, and you can even see it's a 4-to-1 ratio, omega-6 and omega-3 biobalance oils, things like that. Really, really fantastic source of omega-3s. And so you need this for the body's biochemical processes. Without that, the body senses a famine and it begins to convert carbohydrates into fat, which isn't great because then your body begins to hold on to this fat instead of burning it. And that's how you gain weight over time. So in order for your body to absorb all these nutrients better and to digest your food better, it's important there's a little bit of essential fatty acids with your food. They also help produce bile, which is crucial for a healthy functioning digestive system and a healthy functioning liver, but also for elimination of waste, which is also very important for optimum health. And so not only will you glow on the inside, but you actually start to glow on the outside too. So really great for cellular aging, which we all love to hear. Not only that, they kind of make your hair more luster, they can strengthen weak nails and prevent skin conditions like eczema and things like that. So it's important that you eat the right amounts. You only need a small amount. So a good way to incorporate it would be to make a lovely salad and then put one of these oils on your foods. Put in a little bit of avocado in there, some nuts and seeds and things like that, and you're going to get a really good source of these essential fatty acids that are great for healthy weight and a healthy body. So my 10th and final strategy would be to hydrate. Your body is made of 70% water. So it might not be surprising that you have to stay hydrated, and this is essential for optimum health. And it can actually be often overlooked as the root causes for many health issues. If you don't have adequate water, you do feel the consequences over time. You can get everything from fatigue and headaches and dry skin through to constipation and other health effects if you're not getting enough water in your day. It's needed for the normal functioning of your cells, and it transports the nutrients into the cells and it moves the toxins and wastes out of the cells, and you need a really good balance of that to be optimally healthy and to have good nutrition. So it's critical for all bodily functions actually, and it's actually critical for the metabolism and also temperature regulation and detoxification, all important on a health program. However, there's a big but. It's a very big one. It must be filtered water, and I feel very passionate and very strongly about that. There are so many scientific studies, really important studies, that prove that tap water is filled with contaminants. Now, it does depend on where you live in the world, but typically speaking, you've got things from chemicals, heavy metals, fluoride, bacteria, chlorine. All of these things end up being detrimental over time for your health. And they can also make it really difficult to lose weight, because when you have those kind of toxins in your body, the weight stays on to protect because the toxins go into those fatty tissues. And so you can be presented with that additional challenge. And so drinking water is great to do first thing. It's really important to have it first thing before you have your cup of coffee to really flush things out. I really like to do it with lemon, and I put some apple cider vinegar, sometimes even a bit of ginger, some turmeric powder, whatever it is that you need in winter that can be good for your immunity. And you can even put them in little ice cubes and put them in the freezer. So put them in little ice cubes, and then you just have to drop it in the glass of water. Even put a little bit of warm water, because warm lemon water even works better for flushing the kidneys and waking up the detoxification pathways. But it's also important that it's filtered. So with us, we use a reverse osmosis system, and we've also got a Genzon system. So I'll leave some information about that. Many of my clients have bought a Genzon machine over the years, and it's a fantastic water filtration system, because not only does it take the contaminants out, it actually puts and remineralizes the water, and it puts colloidal silver for immune health as well. And Japanese scientists created this water filtration system with a lot of expertise and scientific knowledge. So we find that, is really beneficial for filtering our water. And so, I really look at water as probably being one of the best things that you can do, and one of the easiest changes you can make for your health and well-being. And so an average person should drink about sort of 2 to 3 litres a day. It does depend on your weight. So for someone of my size, it'd be around 2 litres. For a taller man, maybe like my husband Brad, it would be around 3 litres. And so you just want to get a lot of really good water into your system, investing in some form of filtration system, whether it's just a portable one for, that's sitting on the bench or something that goes under the sink. It's going to make a really big difference, not only to your health, but in terms of you absorbing that wonderful nutrition that we've talked about. So I hope you've enjoyed all my 10 strategies, my top 10 strategies for great nutrition. And I hope you make lots of small habit changes that end up leading to a much healthier body in the long run, so you can live a very long, energetic, happy, healthy life with lots